It started with fire in my eyes. That kind of burning that doesn't just sting your skin, it burns your soul a little too. One second I was walking home from the rec center with my brother talking trash about basketball, and the next, a cop had a can of pepper spray in my face like I was some kind of threat. My name's Malik Rivers. I was 13 then, living in Crestwood, North Carolina, a quiet little town where folks wave at police cruisers like they're part of the scenery. That day, I learned how fast nice neighborhoods can turn ugly when your skin's the wrong color. Me and my twin Micah were wearing matching yellow hoodies, laughing about who could dunk first next summer. A patrol car rolled up slow behind us, engine humming, and the cop stepped out like he'd been waiting his whole life to yell at somebody. "Hands where I can see them," he barked. I froze. Micah said, "We didn't do anything." But this guy, Officer Tyler Briggs, wasn't listening. He'd already made up his story. I asked, "Sir, what's going on?" and before the question even finished, he sprayed me in the face. That's what broke me. That instant burn eyes, swelling throat, closing the world, going white and red and pain all at once. I dropped to my knees, choking on the taste of chemicals, while my brother screamed that I couldn't see. Briggs yanked my arm behind my back, twisted it, slammed me into the hood of his car. "Stop resisting," he kept shouting, even though I wasn't moving. Micah ran toward us, yelling, "He's blind, he can't see." The officer turned his hand on his holster and growled, "You want cuffs too, kid?" People came out onto their porches. Nobody stepped in. Phones came out. Yeah, but that was it. Just screens and silence. You know what that feels like. To be burning alive while people film it like it's just another day. He shoved me into the cruiser, slammed the door, and said into his radio, "Suspect in custody, possible shoplift resisting." My face was pressed against the cold glass. I remember thinking that was the same kind of car our teachers said would protect us one day if we were ever in danger. Yeah, that one hurt. At the station, they didn't call my parents, didn't offer water. They put me in an interrogation room. Gray walls, flickering light cuffs cutting my wrists. Briggs came in with a file he never opened and asked, "You want to tell me what you stole from the Quick Mart?" I said I didn't go in that store. He smirked. Funny, because a kid in a yellow hoodie ran off with a soda and a bag of chips. "Guess what you're wearing," I whispered. "That's not a crime," he said. "Resisting arrest is." I told him, "You sprayed me before I said anything." He shook his head like I was stupid. "You kids, always the victim, never responsible." I was 13. I just wanted my mom. I asked if I could call her. He said, "You'll call her when I say you can." That's when I looked up at the security camera in the corner and said, "My name is Malik Rivers. I'm 13. I didn't steal anything. I didn't run. Please tell my mom I didn't do anything wrong." I didn't know it yet, but that moment would save me. Downstairs, an intern named Anna Velasquez saw the footage. She'd been at the department for 3 weeks logging body cam clips. She saw me being dragged in my face, swollen and red, and she said to her supervisor, "Shouldn't someone call his parents?" He didn't even look up. "Occupational hazard," he said. Anna picked up her phone and recorded the monitor. That little act, her deciding not to look away, was the beginning of everything. While I was locked in that room, Micah sprinted home, busted through the door, yelling, "They took Malik." The cop sprayed him. My dad, David Rivers, teaches constitutional law at Durham State. He called the station. They told him, "We can't confirm juvenile detainment over the phone." My mom is Chief Justice Camille Rivers, the top of the state court. And that same afternoon, she was giving a speech about trust between police and community when her assistant slid her a note, "Crestwood PD detained Malik Rivers, age 13. She stopped mid-sentence, folded her papers, and left the room without a word. She pulled up to the station like a storm in heels, walked past the front desk. The clerk said, "Ma'am, you can't go back there without clearance." She said, "I'm not asking." She found Briggs in the hallway, mid-laugh, froze him solid with one look. "Are you Officer Briggs?" "Yes, ma'am, but where is my son?" He started fumbling something about a theft report, matching description procedure. She cut him off. "You detained a 13-year-old without counsel or parental notification, with no evidence and no medical attention. You have 5 seconds to take me to him." When she walked into that interrogation room, I swear it felt like the air came back. She knelt down beside me, brushed my hair from my forehead, and said softly, "I'm here now, baby." Then she stood, looked at Briggs, and said in a calm voice that could cut steel, "You will uncuff him, and you will explain on record why this happened." He stammered, "Ma'am, I was following protocol." She said, "No, you were following fear. There's a difference." That line hit like thunder. And then, as if the universe wanted backup, the system running my intake pinged red judicial security alert. They finally realized they had pepper-sprayed the son of the Chief Justice of the state Supreme Court. At that exact same time, the video Anna recorded hit the internet. 27 seconds of a cop attacking a kid. No commentary, no edit, just truth. The caption read, "Crestwood today. No warning, no reason." By morning, it had 1 million views. Hashtags everywhere. Hashtag justice for Malik Nashkaj, fear is not law, you name it. Briggs was dragged into the chief's office trying to claim he followed procedure. The chief said procedure doesn't cover spraying a child in the face. Meanwhile, Anna got pulled into an internal affairs room and accused of leaking evidence. She looked her supervisor dead in the eye and said, "If doing the right thing is a leak, then the system's already broken." Then she made a video of her own. "My name is Ana Velasquez. I worked at Crestwood PD. I saw what happened. You're not going to bury this." She posted it that night. You know what happened next? The story blew up even more. Reporters outside the station, helicopters, politicians making statements about transparency. My mom didn't hide behind her title. She stood on the courthouse steps in her black suit and said, "If I hide behind my title, then every child without one stays invisible." She looked straight into the cameras and said, "I'm not speaking as a justice. I'm speaking as a mother who watched the law turn against her own son." That hit America like a gut punch. The next day, they called an emergency hearing. Cameras packed the courtroom. The DA played another clip security footage from across the street. It showed Briggs stopping his car, jumping out, spraying me before saying a word. No warning, no chase, just violence. When that video ended, people gasped. Briggs tried to defend himself. "I was afraid," he said. He looked like he might run. My mom stood and said quietly, "Being scared is not probable cause." Those words became the heartbeat of everything that came after. People painted it on signs. Students wrote it on their lockers. The court charged Briggs with excessive force, falsifying a report, and civil rights violations. He lost his badge, his gun, and the story he told himself about being a hero. And you know what's strange? I didn't feel happy. I didn't feel justice. I just felt tired. Like the world had shifted an inch, but still hadn't landed where it needed to. Life didn't magically get better after that. School was weird. Some kids treated me like a celebrity. Others mocked me. One kid in the cafeteria pretended to get sprayed and yelled, "Don't arrest me." Malik. Micah stood up ready to swing. That's the thing, people don't talk about surviving something like that. Doesn't make you brave. It just makes you visible in a way you never asked for. You get to be the example, the headline, the proof. My mom led a new task force on youth policing. She told them, "We've trained officers to fear embarrassment more than misconduct. That's why they cover up instead of owning up." The room went silent. For once, people listened. And me and Micah, we didn't want to just be those twins from Crestwood. We started something called Look at Us First. It's a simple idea. Before you reach for a weapon, reach for understanding. Before you make us a threat, see us as kids. It started small meetings between students and local cops, but it grew. Now schools and departments around the state host Look at Us First forums. Real conversations. No uniforms. Just people trying to see each other again. Briggs got 6 years parole and 4. Some said too harsh. Some said not enough. He gave a statement before sentencing, said, "I didn't see him as a kid. I saw him as a problem to control. And when I stopped seeing him as a person, I lost everything." For the first time, I think he actually meant it. And that might be the saddest part. A year later, Micah and I stood on stage in Raleigh at a youth justice forum. The words, "Look at Us First," glowed behind us. I looked out at hundreds of faces, students, cops, lawmakers, and said I thought staying quiet would keep me safe. But silence only protects the people who hurt you. The room went still, then everyone stood up. They called it powerful. I call it surviving out loud. So now I'll ask you, since you're here listening to my story, do you think this was just one bad cop having a bad day, or do you think the whole system teaches fear before it teaches compassion? Do you think being scared is an excuse to hurt someone, or just the story we tell to make ourselves feel better? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me where you're watching from. Tell me if you've seen something like this where you live, because I'm not here to make you feel guilty. I just want you to see me the way I wanted Officer Briggs to see me that day. A kid, not a suspect. A life, not a lesson. And if my story makes even one person stop looking away, then maybe that's where justice really begins.